Hey guys, good morning. I'm going to record the message. It takes no effort to live in your true nature, which is the divinity of God within you, which is the perfect love and supernatural favor of God within you. Some people call it grace, whatever you want to call it, but it's the effortlessness of God because everything in God is easy. And so if there's anything in your life that's not easy, we're typically trying to do it in our own effort. And can you imagine God struggling for anything? God's easy. God doesn't struggle. And so God is the existence of all things. And so I look forward to sharing this with you and also seeing you guys tonight at online or fellowship if you're in Colorado, and then Sundays 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mountain at freedomministries.live. The password's freedom. And we can share some of this too. But a couple things I'm excited about. So, July 22, for those of you who want to come into town, we're having a private concert at our house. So I haven't met a lot of you guys. It's kind of uh, um, an online gang around the world. And so you're welcome to our house for that private concert with Hazel Miller and the Collectives from 5 to 7 p.m. on July 22. And it's free, but we are going to highlight our Inspire 100, which is to really help it was really designed to help single moms and their kids know their true identity in God. And we've done other things with it, et cetera. But in the end, it's really to help people know their true divinity in God, and so they never have to live out of their true nature again, which is always more than enough. You could call it abundance, and I like to call abundance you have more than enough for your own self, your family, and enough to give in every situation, because that's God. And so it's effortless, it's free, there's no struggle. And so one of the things I'm going to do, we're going to record a message with my friend Tim Stewart. He's the one that organized the Brick Kids, where for $130 we can send these kids to school in India that literally would be slaves to the brick factory the rest of their life. And for $130, you can get them to school, and the Indian government subsidizes them for the rest of their life. It's one of the greatest things I think ever, because for $130 you can set free generations, which is I love. But what we're going to talk about on Tuesday as well is they have another program in Uganda where it's for single moms and sex abuse ladies, and they're basically taking them, giving them to school. And I think we're going to record it on Tuesday. 860 ladies were given skills and started their own businesses last year alone. And so I told them, I said, that fits perfectly with Inspire, to show people, hey, you know what? I don't care what's happened to you. If you live out of the love and nature of God, it dissolves all the negative that you went through, and you're not in trauma anymore. And so anyway, just I'm excited about that. But let's talk about this. That it doesn't take any effort to live in your true nature. The divine perfection in you guys is God. And so, like I said, God doesn't struggle with anything. So the true nature of you has always been love, perfect love. It's been peace, it's been happiness, it's been abundance, which I just say more than enough for yourself and others. So you can always be giving out of yourself. There's always this divine flow. Supernatural favor, some people define grace, which just means that everything works for you. It's divine. Now, if anything seems like a struggle, or there's things in your life that aren't exactly how you want it to be, there is simply a negative thought or feeling standing in the way. That is it, guys. And so please hear me on this. I hear a lot of you guys say this is, I've done what you said and it's not working. And then I kind of hear and I pay attention to what comes out of your mouth or the email. And I want you to so be free, guys. So just try this. Is it possible that you think you've done what I'm saying? But it's so simple. You've done it the same way your whole life that you've actually missed the simplicity of it. You're not actually doing it. And I'll share with you like this. Here's typically what happens. Most people, when there's something, a negative feeling or a situation in their marriage, in their businesses, in their careers comes up, they spend a lot of energy like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to feel this. This is horrible. This feels terrible. All right. Now, the true nature in you is perfect love. Love does not resist anything. It doesn't judge anything. It doesn't say this is good, this is bad. It says this is. That's it. And what's really cool is we're so divine, guys. We're so powerful. When we have any negative thought, we actually create that situation. So when we're saying, I don't want this to happen, we spend all of our energy feeling and seeing exactly what we don't want to happen. Now, I think I've been sharing a lot out of Rhonda Burns, The Greatest Secret. Boy, I'd encourage that for everybody. I think it's really awesome, where you can go find some YouTube videos of her effortless living, effortless manifesting, and such like that. And so if you're trying, guys, I hear this, like, I'm trying to manifest. You're trying to do it in your own effort. God doesn't struggle for anything. When you're living out of your true nature, all it is you've released all the negative, and everything that you would ever desire happens to you. It literally happens to you. It falls in your lap. Like, everything's okay. Everything's divine. And so I think where people are getting stuck is they're trying to resist a situation, or they're feeling terrible, like, I don't want this. And love would do the exact opposite. I know this sounds weird, but this is how it works, guys. Because we've been taught, like, we need to stand up for God. We need to resist this things. And we're actually just adding energy to the very problem we're trying to overcome. So if there's any negative feeling or anything you don't like in your life, love is the opposite. Here's what it is just know that are you that negative feeling? Are you that feeling of fear, that anxiousness, that any negative feeling? You know what they are. They don't feel good, right? Are you going, I don't want to do this, and trying to overcome it with positive feeling or trying to manifest? That's what most people do. It's the exact opposite. And here's literally what it is I know I'm not that feeling. I'm not that thought. The true me, the nature of God, has never experienced any negative, has never experienced anything other than perfection, divine love, etc. Now, we fill our minds in different things with ideas other than that, and so we experience that. That's the freedom we have to live in this divinity of God. But what's the true nature of you is never changed. It's perfect. So if you can go, wait a minute, that's just a negative feeling. You're just aware of it. You recognize it. Oh, that's just a negative feeling, or that's just negative energy within me. And I know if I love it, nothing can stand in divine love. Everything, that all the attributes of God would naturally fall out and take care of the situation all by itself when you stand in divine love. And so let me share this testimony with you. This is pretty cool. Then we'll talk about exactly how to do this, how to live in this freedom, how to live in the perfect love and supernatural favor of God. And so I'm not going to tell you who this is, because I got this from a friend this morning, but he says, when we last visited, I was sharing with you this neutral reality I've begun to experience. Love is, guys. It doesn't take sides. It loves everything. It welcomes everything. It's okay with everything. Most people are not okay with everything because they're reacting to what's going on and said, I don't like this. I'm going to come against this, which actually, where you place your energy, guys, it actually just increases more of it. So he says, maybe it's best described as a knowing, which I think is exactly right. I know who I am. I'm the perfect love and presence of God within. That's who you all are, by the way. Knowing that everything's right, everything's very good, knowing that everything is possible, a place of no striving or stress to make something happen, knowing that perfect result will happen for me in every situation as an effortless flow. Yes, yes, yes is all I can say. It was the releasing of the negative emotions that brought me to this place. It's all that's standing in the way, guys. This is where people are getting hung up. They're saying, I did it, but you're not going, I'm going to love this situation. I'm going to allow myself to feel the negative there, not trying to change it, not trying to resist it. I love this situation, and I love this negative situation. I'm going to love this feeling, which is welcoming. It's okay to be here. And when you just pay attention to it and allow it to be there, it's like, I just welcome this. I'm going to love this feeling, because when I do, it naturally dissolves out of me. I'm going to love this negative situation that I think is just horrible. And guess what? It dissolves in the presence of love. It dissolves out of you. And the very thing that was holding you back from perfect divinity that flows out of you effortlessly dissolves all by its own. So it says, it was the releasing of the negative emotions that brought me to this place. I'm so much more aware of the reality of Christ within me and my true nature. After decades of religious shenanigans, he's been in religion most of his life. And I can honestly say, I feel free. Oh, that's the whole thing, guys. Free from my suffering of my own mind. That's where most people are getting hung up. I'm at peace with my journey. I'm grateful for every turn in the road, even the things that we perceived as negative. When Barb and I look back, guys, we're like, oh, that had to happen, because we weren't paying attention in our own, and it was God having to shift something in us so we could get us out to where we could really be free. The experience is very much like waking up into a whole new world. Just wanted to express my gratitude. And I just put, yes, that's exactly almost the message I'm sharing this weekend. And so anyway, I'm going to read to you. This is pretty simple stuff. I'm going to read to you right out of The Greatest Secret, because I think she does a great job summarizing this. So here's where people are getting hung up. They're not loving the situation, they're just allowing any negative feeling or loving any negative problem. I'm just going to love this problem and welcome it. Just allow it to be there. And all the feelings, all the emotions you have about it, you can just be honest. You can go, okay, am I feeling fearful about this problem? Am I feeling anxious about this situation? Do I not want it to be there? That's typically yes. So here's what we do. We just go, I realize I'm having that feeling. I'm going to step back and relax a minute. And I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to love this feeling. You love that negative feeling. You allow it to be there. You welcome it. And so she writes here, positive, good feelings occur naturally in the absence of negative feelings. So all that's standing in the way of effortless supernatural favor, guys, is just you rolling over in your mind what you don't want, resisting the negative situation. Oh, I can't stand this. I wish it was different. When you just allow it to let go, when you love it and go, I'm just going to welcome how I feel about this situation. It says, positive, good feelings occur naturally in the absence of negative feelings. You don't have to make any effort to have positive feelings. All that you have to do is let go of the bad feelings. You'll naturally be happy. Why? Because that's your true nature. You don't struggle to do it. And so I want to share this with you, because this is where people get hung up, and this is where people keep saying, I'm doing what you said. I don't think you're loving the situation. And go, I'm going to love this and welcome exactly how it is. Now, let me read this to you. Are you doing that? So here's what it says. Just be aware of a negative feeling or negative situation or a health situation. Just be aware of it and just go, hey, this is how I feel about that. I'm going to allow myself to love myself enough to go, it's okay for me to feel that a minute. You're just aware of that feeling. You're not trying to change it. That's where people are trying to change it. They're trying to fix the situation with their mind. And all they're doing is putting their mind in this loop, and they start to really get anxious, and they just over and over again, they relive exactly what they don't want over and over. So it says, stop resisting a negative feeling. You just have to allow the feeling to be present without trying to change it. Don't try to change it. Don't go, this has to go. I love this feeling. I allow myself to love myself enough and love the feeling that I'm feeling angry. I'm just going to allow the feeling of anxiousness to be there. I'm going to allow my feeling that it feels out of control in this situation, in my business, in my job. I'm just going to allow myself to feel whatever that is and just love it as best I can. And if you just allow it to be there, honestly, guys, it naturally dissolves within a minute. You feel better, you feel lighter. And when you let go of all that stuff, it takes no effort for the supernatural favor of God, which is perfect love and harmony, to take care of the situation by itself. You'll find everything worked out okay, because you weren't holding on to anything that was keeping it there. And so it says, just be aware of the feeling, relax, don't tense up against it. That's resisting. Ironically, you let the feeling go by relaxing and allowing it to be there without trying to change it, or you're not trying to get rid of it. You're not trying to go, I hate this feeling, this situation's happening to me, what a bummer. I just allow this. I love this feeling a minute. I'm going to allow it to be there and welcome it. It says, letting the feeling be there allows all the energy to be released. It's the very opposite of what we've always done, which explains why so many have suppressed negative emotions. The energy behind a negative feeling will naturally release when you allow the feeling to be present. It's automatic. Even extreme anger, I would say anything, can fall away under a minute if we simply aware of it. Allow it to be there. Don't resist it. Just go, I love this feeling of anger. I'm going to allow it to be there a minute. I love this negative situation in my life. I'm going to allow it to be there a minute and just allow any feeling I have about it. Just be honest. Don't try to do good Christian stuff, which is all religious stuff. Just be honest. I'm gonna allow myself to love this feeling and just be present with it a minute. It's okay for me to feel this way. And you just feel it. You're just aware that you're feeling that. And it naturally dissolves, guys. And pretty soon it's not even there. And so everything you're struggling for uh naturally happens to you. And so like this is let me just share this with you because I think that's where people get confused. Because some people say, listen, if you heard messages on God loves you over and over again, that works. It just takes a long time because often people aren't people aren't releasing the negative things that are keeping them from believing that. Faith is effortless, guys, when you let the stuff that all the feelings of I don't have enough faith to be okay and just allow them flow out of you. And so I'm just showing you the shortcut. Hey, listening to grace and messages about love is great. It's certainly better than the opposite, which is most Western Christian messages, but it's still the long time. And I honestly, people that have been around those ministries forever, they're still depressed, including a lot of the ministers themselves, which is not the goal, guys. We're giving you the shortcut. Here's what's interesting. If you allow any feeling that you're not loved I'm just going to love this feeling that I'm not loved. It takes no effort for the love of God to overwhelm you when there's nothing there to impede it. So is God abundant? Of course he is. Does God struggle for things? Of course he doesn't. He's God. And I'm using these words, but that's really the identity of who you are, the presence of God within you, the divinity within you, Christ in you, which is the anointing of God within you, right? So it takes no effort to be abundant because that's who you naturally are. So how does it work? And I call abundance always having more than enough to do whatever you want. And so there's leftovers you can always give in to others. That's where you really find joy, in my opinion. And so if there's any feeling of you don't have to be a good steward, you don't have to do everything right and plan, because what if those plans go awry? Now your source and your planning, now you're in a pickle, right? If you know this true source, where if something happens, you just go, you know what, I'm going to love this situation and allow it, whatever I feel about it, to be present enough. Anything that's not of God, which is pure harmony, perfect love, perfect abundance, perfect joy, harmony in every situation, no guilt or shame, perfect love in every situation. That'll dissolve out of you. It'll take no effort for you to start living in abundance, because abundance happens to you and flows out of you, because that's the nature of who you really are. Everything you're trying to struggle for, plan for, do all these things naturally is, because that's who you are. So hopefully that helps, guys. But this is really where people are pushing against, I don't want this, I don't want that. And they're telling me, I've done everything that's not working. I think it's so subtle that you miss the simplicity of it. I think it's just you've done it the opposite way for so long. You've gone, you're placing judgment of like, oh, I'm feeling horrible, I don't want this to happen to me. God's not judging that situation. It's allowing it to be present with you. As soon as you go, wait a minute, I know that the true me is always perfect. It's always divine. It's always abundant. It's always, everything's effortless and free, because that's godly. God doesn't struggle for stuff. So why am I struggling for stuff? I let all the feeling that it's hard or I have to struggle just be present. I just love this feeling. I allow myself to feel that it's hard. It doesn't feel good. Just love it. It's okay for me to feel this. It'll naturally dissolve very quickly, guys. And then it won't be a struggle to be abundant, because it happens to you. You will naturally realize that you have a simple, oh, I think you would like to be this. There's nothing impeding that. And all that's left is the divinity of God, and it brings it to you with no effort. It literally drops in your lap. Everything becomes easy. So that's hopefully when you let go of everything that's not true, and you love it, you love the situation, you love the negative feeling, guys, it's just there so you can be free from it for the rest of your life. It's ready to go. It won't take any effort to be abundant. It won't take any effort to feel loved. That's who you are. It won't take any effort to earn the supernatural favor. God is supernatural favor. He is harmony. And it doesn't take any effort to live out of that true nature, which is supernatural love and favor of God, guys. Everything will happen to you and for you freely. So you always have enough to give. You always have enough love to give out to others. And that's the life, guys. So look forward to seeing you tonight.